How many of you are here for the first time this morning? A few of you who are going to experience the energy, the magic of 1 million cups. Remember somehow I envy you. For those of us who have been here a few times, we kind of know the drill. Two entrepreneurs are going to get up here and they're going to present. They have 6 minutes to do that. They're going to explain to you what they're doing, what they're building. Then the next 20 minutes is your responsibility. Ask questions, seek clarification, think through your connections, your advice, what you can do to help them out, respond to their needs, and help them grow their companies. We do this every week with the help of our sponsor, Cal Coffee, provides the wonderful coffee you're all enjoying this morning, and the toil of our team of volunteers, Chris, Danielle, Aaron. My name is Sean. I'm actually paid to be here, as is Carly, who does all the real work. If you are not getting Carly's email every week that tells you all about the startups that have been here, what they need, how to connect with them, there's a sign-in sheet by Gene there over by the door. Please take a look at that. You'll get to learn about the great startups we see. But without further ado, I'm going to welcome back again. Tell us how he's pivoted, what he's done, how he's grown. Please.
Hello everybody, I'm Anu, founder of TorchFi. This is my third time over here at 1 million cups. The first time around was a bit of last year when I brought in a concept and just shared it as the early prototype. Then it was set up last year when we actually launched the product. And today we have it live in a few places, so I'm here to share our updates, talk about what's new in the product, and get some feedback on the new features. So, what is Wi-Fi Waiter? Consider a scenario where you have stepped out of your office to get some lunch and walk up to your closest cafe, and you see a long line of customers coming right through the door waiting to place an order. How many of you would just decide to leave and go to a different place instead of standing in this line? And that is lost business opportunity for this cafe. The way cafes are trying to solve this problem today is by setting up self-ordering kiosks. But to think about it, what they have done with the self-ordering kiosks is move the line from the counter to the kiosk, but not necessarily improve the ordering experience. Another big way a lot of chains have tried to solve this problem is by enabling online ordering and supporting pre-ordering mobile apps. But these apps are not necessarily catering to the customers who are already there inside the store. You are supposed to pre-order and then go and pick it up. That's one problem. The second largest problem is people hate downloading any more apps on their phone. So we solve this problem with Wi-Fi Waiter. What we allow the customers to do is just skip the line, go sit down, connect to the Wi-Fi and place an order from your phone without need of downloading any app on the phone. The moment you connect onto the Wi-Fi, the login page that pops up allows you to look to the complete menu, select the items, place an order and pay for it. The moment you have placed an order, you have completed the transaction. Now you can decide do you want to continue accessing free internet or just disconnect from the Wi-Fi, and nothing is left back on your phone. After the order has been confirmed, it goes straight to the kitchen, and they could bring the food to you to the table when it is ready, or we allow them to send a real-time text notification that says the food is now ready to be picked up at the counter. So effectively, we have helped the customer improve their ordering experience and help the restaurant to enable table-side ordering without need of hiring waiting staff, right? But what we do for the restaurant is much bigger. We collect customer data. Now to think about it, a restaurant is able to collect data from multiple channels. For example, your POS system is able to tell you what is the highest selling product. Your loyalty card programs actually tell you who is ordering what. And your social media is able to identify these customers to some extent and engage them directly and get their feedback. But what none of these technologies are able to do is identify this particular customer when they walk through the door and use this data. This is the gap that Wi-Fi Waiter fills up. We are able to identify this particular customer, if they are a repeat customer, through their mobile phones every time they connect onto the Wi-Fi. And based upon this, now give a completely personalized ordering experience. For example, next time when you come back and connect onto Wi-Fi, we can give a completely dynamic menu based upon your ordering history. We also can enable loyalty programs where the customer doesn't have to carry a key tag or a punch card or a smart card kind of a system, right? One of the things that we do for the restaurant is help enable upsell. And this upsell can again be very particularly targeted to this particular customer depending upon their ordering history, right? One of the completely new things that we're bringing in for the restaurant is by converting this space into a digital marketing space, we help them generate a completely new revenue channel where the brands are happy to pay for promoting their products on top of this space. Right? So effectively, we have helped the customer get a better customer experience in terms of ordering, and we have enabled the restaurant generate higher revenue and improve the interaction with the customer. So how do we make money out of this? Wi-Fi Waiter is available on a basic SaaS model for a one-time setup fee and a monthly subscription fee with different packages depending upon what the merchant is interested in using it for. But the larger opportunity for us over here is through the revenue share that we can generate from the upsells and the new revenue that we are generating for this particular restaurant. Right? We have been live for almost 4 months now. We launched sometime end of December. And the first place that we went live was at Moxie's. And today we are live at 5 places and talking to a few of these local chains to do a statewide or a countrywide rollout. From the 4 months of data that we have collected at Moxie's, the key insight that we have got is that we have already surpassed the number of users that they have had for their mobile app on the App Store for the past 3 years. Right? We have also seen great usage and repeat usage of the service. I have set up one of these devices over here as a live demo, and you can access it from your phone right now by connecting onto TorchFi Wi-Fi Waiter. It's a demo, so you can go ahead and place an order, select the payment mode as cash, and try out the complete experience. And if you actually try to come back, it will also identify you and give you the repeat order experience as well. So please try it out and let me know your feedback. Thank you. Yes, you're always the first one.
Can you go back a slide to your data? So average 14%.
Yes.
Is it because people think that this is closer to a takeout thing than a full service thing? They're tipping less. I know it's a small point.
So the reason why I have included that point over here, point 1, is because a lot of merchants have a concern that people will stop tipping, right? And typically at places where you are standing in a line and placing an order at the counter, the tip is the change that you leave in that jar. So it is never a percentage. It's always 50 cents to $1 or whatever, right? We have actually seen that the tipping amount is much higher when we get a tip over here. That's the reason we have included it over here. Sorry.
Go ahead, because I got to remember what I was going to ask.
What is your business model again? How do you make money?
So we are on a SaaS model, software as a service, where they need to pay us a one-time setup fee where we go set up our device, set up the Wi-Fi inside the store, and build out the complete menu for them that you're seeing from the phone. Right? And then there's a monthly subscription.
The monthly subscription. That depends on the users or
it depends upon different packages. Do you want to use it for ordering? Do you want to use it with online payment? Do you want to use it with loyalty programs? Do you want to use it with digital media marketing? We enable different services.
What is the most expensive pack?
$199 per month.
Per location.
Per location.
That's how you make money on it? Or you also have revenue sharing?
We haven't launched it yet. We haven't enabled the upsell yet. Those features are in the roadmap. Sorry.
No. So, 2 things. First of all, I've seen a few of your presentations.
Oh, yeah.
It really is getting better.
Thank you.
Every single time I see it. It's much more concise now, very well put together. I see the benefit. This page is fantastic. really good job getting this thing up and running. So, the second thing is payment. So you have cash there. What other forms of payment do you take? Do you take Apple or Android Pay from that router? Is it even possible given the mechanisms you use?
The way we have set it up right now is that we integrate into the existing payment model that the merchant uses. So any of these payment gateways usually give a deal of percentage. They charge 2% to 3% off each transaction, and we do not want to charge that from the customer. So we say whatever payment gateway you are using, we are integrated to that. Now, if that payment gateway supports Apple Pay, we can enable that on top of it. Right? That's how we are doing.
I also was here for the last presentations, and I joined this gentleman to say that this time you seem to have adjusted your product also, and your subscription costs, and a lot of things that you have adapted to the market. So I want to congratulate you for this. One of the reasons why some particular startups succeed is because of the fact that they're adaptable, flexible, that they understand the market, and then they do this. But based on what I see today, which is more precise than what you were doing before, I wanted to ask you, what has been your experience? Has it been received, your new model, by the customers that you have? Is it something that convinces them very quickly? Do you have difficulties selling it? Do you see any obstacles at this point?
So one basic feedback that we have got from everywhere we have presented and shown a demo is people love the consumer experience. The experience of placing the order is great. Now the only pushback or the blockages that we face most of the time is from chains or the management of the chains, where they see it affecting their existing operations, right? And they know one way of doing things, and when startups like us bring in a new way of doing something, it changes the way they have done things for donkey's years, right? So that is one of the pushbacks that we face, and we basically say that we are happy to integrate in whatever format you would want. So for example, the places that we're live at, we have gotten it off the complete tablet system where the order would pop up or something. They just want the order to get printed directly with the printer, and we have implemented it that way. So the moment that order comes in, nobody knows but directly the kitchen, right? And the food automatically comes out. Once it goes to the kitchen, the process is already set. So we are integrating into their existing operations to make it work for them. That's how that.
I totally agree with you that I'm not interested in going over more restaurant apps on my phone.
Yeah.
But I'm also constantly bombarded by warnings from the media. Don't log into unsecure public networks, which I think is what this is. So how do you overcome that? Particularly for something like credit card organization.
So this is where I need to explain this technically. When the media says do not log into public network, they are saying do not go ahead and access free internet. That is when you are saying accepting, and then the window disappears, and the firewall is now open for you to access free internet and stuff, right? And it has its own challenges and it has its own solutions to that. What is happening here is that you are bringing this complete engagement. You're doing this whole placing an order on the login screen. That means yet you haven't accessed anything in the network, or the network is not able to access anything on your phone. It is still at that login screen level. And you place an order and you disconnect, and there is nothing left on your phone, and you haven't even accessed the network. Right? So we have actually used this one layer in between, where it is much more secure than you logging into Amazon.com from your personal computer and giving your credit card details. We have added a hardware and a firewall now that doesn't allow anybody to access anything from your phone. It makes it more secure.
So I'm probably not the only one who this is a BFI in terms of technical knowledge or ethics concerns. You may want to incorporate that into your
which is the consumer communication part of it. We are first trying to go live at a place before we go convince the consumer. So we have had users now, after we have done those communications, in-store communications, that it is secure and safe.
I'm just offering kind of a merchant you're pitching to me. I want to know what my customers should say.
You're right. Right. Really good. Thank you. Yes, Chris.
I should have followed. I think that's an important point to stroke. Sometimes I'll even go to a coffee shop and just want to strangle them. I say, you got to secure your Wi-Fi. People can all be sitting here. picking up that data. I understand the technical point that you're not on the internet, but that's definitely one that you're going to have to wrestle with. But one thing I feel like is missing here, or if they have it, I haven't seen it come across, is these coffee shops or restaurants already have existing Wi-Fi networks. A lot of people go and go to those places to use free Wi-Fi, whether it's going to Kala or wherever. Why have a separate Wi-Fi network? Why not pitch this as, hey, you're already offering your customers free Wi-Fi at Kala. When they sign on to the Kala network, instead of just letting them be connected and be on their way on the internet, why don't you let them connect to your existing Wi-Fi, be presented with, hey, you want us to bring a coffee to your table? And you can say, no, I just want to surf the internet. But this still feels like there's friction here, and that I have to connect to the TorchFi network to then go place an order. So I still have to go out on my normal path from when I came in there to get a coffee to go order. Whereas if my path was I want to come in, I want to sit and I want to work on the internet, and you interrupted my existing path by saying, oh,
we haven't actually, to that point, we have enabled free internet access, and at all these locations that we are live at, they switched off their existing Wi-Fi and now enable free internet access through Wi-Fi Waiter. So if you want to access free internet at Moxie's or Green Market Cafe, you have to connect to Wi-Fi Waiter, and there is the second option is, do you want to access free internet or do you want to place an order?
I think that should be part of my point. I think it should be part of your pitch, because this still feels like a high friction thing for me to you have to educate a consumer that connect to this network in order to place an order. That education process when you're not a big company.
It is, Chris. It is part of our pitch to the merchants. I mean, right now we're trying to educate you about the product, but to the merchant, that is the pitch, right? You're already giving away Wi-Fi. You're not monetizing it. Now, at the very least, you can collect some customer data of the people that come there. So that is part of our pitch to them.
I was saying in your presentation, I would say, like, hey, they're already connecting to your network, but you're not getting any money from that other than them possibly coming up and ordering a drink. Why not,
I think early on in the pitch, what basically we can say is, when we're in this slide, we can basically say, replace your existing free internet with Wi-Fi Waiter. I mean, that would communicate that better.
Yeah, monetize your free Wi-Fi.
Monetize your free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take that.
But then you have a relationship with a carrier to provide the internet?
No, we plug in this device into the existing internet access point, whatever they are using. So it could be Spectrum, right?
So it's just the local Wi-Fi
Yes.
we're talking about.
I'm trying to figure out how this really pays out for the restaurant owner or whoever buys this. Just going back to your numbers, that 188 users over 12 months.
Right. That's the reason
My quick math says that's 47 a month on average, which is 1.5 a day. To me, that looks like there's not very much penetration. So if I just spent $299, or pay $99 a month, I'm going to need, I think, a whole lot more demonstrated uplift in the checks or more people coming or whatever in order to pay your fee. So how do you evaluate these numbers in terms of what your customer is going to have to do in order to pay out the cost of your fee?
This is fantastic question that you're talking about. It's a challenge that I'm still trying to identify what is the best solution to it. So here's the thing. The problem statement that we are really talking about, that we're solving, is a number of people who just leave and do not walk in because there's a long line of customers. And we're talking about 60% of the total usage has been between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. with this lunch hours. So most of the usage is happening during lunch hours, right? But there is absolutely no way to validate how many people of these would have actually left and not come in at all, and has now come in because there is a Wi-Fi Waiter service available, right? But at the same time,
They don't use it.
no, these are people who have used it.
But the numbers are really small.
Right, it is. So we are still talking about 3% of the total in-store transaction that is happening at that particular location is coming from Wi-Fi Waiter, and I would have been able to validate this thing if it was anywhere between 10 to 50% minimum, where we say that 50% of your customers are using Wi-Fi Waiter to place an order. That means they want to use the service, and a significant percentage are coming here just because this service is available, right? But the fact is that you are improving a customer's experience of people who are already there inside the store. So this is not directly impacting the revenue or the number of transactions, or the number of if you have a place that holds 200 people, this will not bring in 500 people, right? This will still bring in only 200 people at this thing. That's the capacity. We are not increasing that, right? But if we are able to prove that they, on an average, used to spend $10.50 and these people have spent $13, that's one point that we could have. And the percentage of people. So I'm yet to get to those numbers that will prove that this is giving the value for $99 a month. Yes.
So are they placing their order while they're waiting for a table?
No. So most of these people basically, the places that they're live at, the way the operations work is that you go to the counter, place an order, they will give you a number tag, and then you go sit down and hold that number tag. Right? So now you are not going and standing in that line, you go sit down, and the tables are already numbered. And while you're placing an order, you'll say you're sitting at table 5, and they bring the food to you.
Yeah, my question actually kind of was answered by him, but I was thinking about the people, your original statement was if there was a long run, they would leave. I would still leave, but now all of those people just have to be inside. As a consumer, I'm not getting a better experience over now I can order from my phone. So I was going to ask if you had any data on these customers in the 4 months that in Moxie that maybe their lunch was quicker, because that's a big thing around here is be able to get in and get out. So if there's a line and I only have a certain amount of time and I leave, as opposed to there's no line but everybody's inside ordering, I'm actually going to wait probably longer or the same amount of time. So as a consumer, I'm kind of full. If you can figure it out where, I think part of this goes back to the operations questions where now you have a kitchen getting more orders and now they have to turn out food quicker or else now you got kind of a cluster in the kitchen. If you can figure out how to kind of speed up that process and people are actually getting their food quicker or being able to kind of get in, sit down, do some stuff and get out, as a consumer, that's going to make me want to go there more than just either being able to order by a waiter or by a phone. There's got to be some benefit for me.
Right. So you, as a consumer point of view, if you had walked in, because there is no line, and now you realize that this place is completely packed up and full and there is no place to sit, maybe you'll still walk out, right? But if most of these places, if you've noticed, for example, Panera Bread, you will walk in and the place, there is line to the kiosk, there is line to the counter, but there is definitely places to sit down, right? Now it is up to you, do you really want to place an order? Now, can we communicate how long it is going to take for you to get your food? All these places that are enabling now a Wi-Fi waiter kind of a service inside the store are already delivering on Uber Eats, are already taking online orders and pre-orders. And these are orders that you don't see. These are people who you don't see coming in. Your experience in Starbucks, you are standing in the line, somebody walks in, picks up their coffee and leaves. How did that happen? Right? It's because they have pre-ordered and picked it up and left, and that has affected your wait time. Right? Have you stopped going to Starbucks for that? No, you're still waiting there and you are getting food. This actually does it. Right? Because we are catering only to the people who are already there inside. Are they sitting or standing in the line? You would definitely prefer to sit than stand in the line, right? Kind of thing. So
how do you scale this? So you mentioned like some of the difficulties in the back end to incorporate this into their operations. So in each solution is a little bit different, right? Depending on how they're operating. So how are you scaling that so that you can, set them up quickly, get it going quickly, and expand that?
right, which is very important. And I actually removed there was one more part in this thing where we are developing on top of existing platforms. So one of the key things is that there are POS platforms that are out there. There's Square, there's Clover, there's a bunch of these POS companies that provide a very open platform where we could integrate into their existing system, and an operation of the place is always correlated to the POS system that they're using. Right? So if we integrate and become the software on top of their existing POS network and it's integrated, that basically means that they do not even have to manually enter anything after an order comes in, it is already logged in and stuff. So the way we plan to scale this is not to direct sales, but to build a solution on top of existing platforms and then use their sales channels to sell to their customers. Right? And it will become a pure online sales model. So I might not even know my customers who are customers of Clover or Square and look through their app store and download and install Wi-Fi waiter that pays us $99 a month for your service. Two of them particularly that we know are more open-ended and and are used by a lot of these smaller chains are Square and Clover is my first data. I can give you some data later. Yes.
So you're kind of scratching and clawing your way to get out users, generate revenue, and you're 1.5 per day later. So, and you're being deselected by the gatekeepers of the chain. So you did change kind of a lot of that goes away. Are you giving any thought to licensing and getting them to buy into your system and let them spend money of their own?
So licensing is an option, but the larger option over here is basically more in terms of partnering with existing channel partners. So now these people, for example, the largest POS system that is out in the market is Aloha or Micros, and most of these chains that are using it has never met somebody from Aloha. They are actually with channel partners, and these channel partners are distributing, which is a traditional way of doing B2B business, of building out channel partnership, and that's a distribution network. So we can partner with them to take one more product along with all the other services that they take to these businesses. That's one of the things that we're doing. Yes.
This is kind of a follow-up on that. These pods, software companies, why wouldn't they be working on developing like a customer interface type thing like you're talking about? Why wouldn't they just develop their own? And it would be automatically integrated into the system.
Right.
It sounds like they would be doing a lot of customization. And maybe if you hook up with a POS company, maybe that's an extra strategy for you, or maybe it'll just allow you to really grow this thing fast.
Right. So to grow it fast, it is important for us to integrate into existing platforms. That's where we are not customizing. That we get away from any kind of customization that is done. It comes across as a packaged product that you download and use it the way it is, right? To the second question about why people wouldn't develop their own, for example, Starbucks actually develops everything in-house on whatever they use, right? So the larger chains are doing that, the smaller chains are not tech companies, they will always look outside for tech. So we could be addressing with that. Yes?
Thank you for coming back and presenting and updating us on what you've been working on. I know it's challenging and moving forward. But if you could help us on how we can help you, like
right. So one of the help that we are looking for is point one, we are a completely bootstrap startup. So everything that you see that is happening in the past one is a concept, converting it to a product, and now going live and everything. It's like two people on the street talking to these customers and trying to get as many warm references as possible. So all the locations that we are live at Clearwater, Oldsmar, and downtown Tampa. And none of these places I have ever presented at 1 million calls. I have presented here 3 times and I don't have a customer here. So one thing that I need.
It's your work, please. Let's go.
So one thing that I definitely need is some warm references to local businesses that you would know who could use this kind of a service. We are very flexible on our pricing and stuff. We prove the value first and then start see if they want to pay us or not kind of thing. So all that we need is references to customers to help grow this, and then eventually this could break out into a good business.